Now, if you're a Project Moon fan and you do play Roblox, you've probably heard of Archived by now. Archived is a Roblox Project Moon game made by the Relu and his awesome, cool development team, and it's basically like an RPG. The main issue is some of the people in the community are not the best people. In this case, we're going to be talking about Harababura, who has been a repeat offender of being very weird, especially to a bunch of randoms that he's barely even talked to. And yeah, let's get into it. So before joining the archive community, Harababura was in Illusions about 2 years ago. At this time, Harababura was 16 when they joined and 17 by the end of the time when they left. And during this time, they made a user within a Discord which we'll call 15, because at the time she was 15 and 14 when Harababura first joined. And Harababura seems to be into this person at this time, so much so that they mentioned them 59 times within the span of a couple of months, without the both of them not really having any communication at all. And it gets a little worse in DMs. So during this time, Harababura got really attached to 15, so much so that they tried hitting on them in a very strange way. I'm not going to judge this too hard because it was 2 years ago and they were allegedly drunk. Now, I don't know about being drunk at 17 and talking to a 15-year-old like this, but you do you, man. And throughout this conversation, we see Harababura struggling a bit to exert their feelings towards 15, and by the end, they just give up. Now, the next day, they come back, and they're apologizing. They're like, oh, sorry, I wasn't really myself. I was really drunk. I wasn't myself, And they still like 15. But the obsession doesn't really end here. So at this time, 15 is, well, 15. And Hara's 17. So, you might be wondering, oh, what's so weird about that? It's less than a 2-year age gap? Well, yeah, it is. But that's the issue. It's less than a 2-year age gap, but it's very close to a 2-year age gap. So close, it's 5 days apart. The age gap between Hara and 15 is a year and 360 days. Now, again, call it what you will. Technically not illegal. I'd say that's pretty weird. Picture this. A high schooler, freshly going into their freshman grade, and then being hit on by the junior or senior that's almost 2 years older. Not 2 years older, almost. Wouldn't that be a little weird? Especially considering this person has been very sexual towards a lot of other members with barely knowing them. And they allegedly drink very irresponsibly, so much so that they turn up drunk every single time. So, unfortunately, 15 was not the only, I would say, victim of such weird actions. Right now, I'm in a private server, and a lot of the people I know in here have said things about Hara, which kind of prove that Hara is a weirdo, should not be around people. So I will be reading the pieces of text one by one just for you to judge while displaying them on the screen. Alright, first of all, let's start off with a message that says, "Is Hara Diddy? Why are so many victims speaking up?" And then we'll go with, "Hara went in my DMs saying they like me while drunk," with quotation marks. So glad the worst that Hara did to me was those trans jokes that went a bit far, broken heart emoji. Hara was a freak to me too. Bro, Hara straight up asked me if I was ever curious on how dick tasted. And I was like... And to finish it off with the most unique sentence I've ever read in my life, Hara was low-key asking to penis scissor. What the actual fuck is penis scissoring? I don't want to Google this. Why are you asking people to penis scissor when you've known them for like a little bit of time? What the fuck? So on top of Hara being very much into the action known as penis scissoring, they are also very much into erotic roleplay. So yet again, we see one of my friends sending a message about Hara. Now in this message, they tell us, every time Hara gets brought up, I remember him accidentally slipping up DMs and dropping whole ass out of context mid-ERP messages to my DMs right after venting to me. Now we'll be covering Harababura's Twitter/X account, which is where most weirdos mess up because just make their shit private in the first place. Now, starting off with the less weird stuff, approximately a year after the events with 15, yeah, about a year, give or take, they go on to post a picture of, I think that's Lily Pichu, holding a little doll and saying they look like 15. And Lily Pichu is 15's mom and she's holding 15. Wow, so heartwarming. Now, why the flying fuck would you mention someone you were really, like, not wanting to talk to for a year, like, out of nowhere? It's kind of fucking weird, man. Now, the reason why I'm on this person's Twitter is because I do the same with a lot of weirdos I investigate. I usually check their followings, and oh boy, did I hit the jackpot. The fucking goldmine of Epstein's Island. So I dug a little bit into Harababura's followings on Twitter. And there was a lot of... There was Blue Archive and My Hero Academia, both of which are all high schoolers. They're minors. They are under the age of 18. Furthermore, some of the accounts had lolly, incest, rape, and zoophilia. So what was Harababura's response to being found on the Epstein list? Unfollowing every account that made CP and all the weird stuff and then privating their Twitter instead of denying absolutely any sort of allegation, because that is what very smart pedophiles do. Initially, I had reported Harababura about a month ago. Now, all that happened was that Harababura, fuck that name, that's so sh**. Initially, I had reported Harababura about a month ago. Now, what happened there was that Harababura said sorry for following the CP artist and just unfollowed them. My friend in this case tells a moderator that Harababura followed Blue Archive porn artists. Now, what does a moderator respond with? Is it shock? Oh, my friend Harababura, one of my most trusted testers, is a pedophile? No, it was actually saying that it's not a valid reason to get them banned because you have gacha game fans and Koreans in the archive server. Now, I don't know if I misunderstood this message or this moderator simply doesn't want to be a part of the drama, but under what circumstance do you brush off and use the excuse that it's a gacha game fan server and Koreans are in it? what do Koreans have to do with? So, I went to check the Discord server for archive to see if Harababura has said anything weird or funny just for shits and giggles. And turns out I'm banned from the server. I'm not exactly sure why I'm banned, but coincidentally, only me and my 2 friends who tried exposing said pedophile are banned. We got banned from the Discord and from the game's group, so we can't even access the game. Now, doing this while someone's getting accused of pedophilia doesn't really defend that person. I joined Archived with some expectations, but those very little expectations which I had were just crushed, as none of the bugs were ever fixed, and more weirdos kept pouring in. Archive's community was just never destined to be good, I guess. As is with most Project Moon fandoms. When it comes to Roblox and Project Moon, you mix those two together. 2 negatives don't really make a positive. In this case, just agreeing that your community's gonna have pedophiles isn't something good. You shouldn't be fine with that. And then putting Koreans in the same group as pedophiles, that's just straight up racist, I guess. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll probably end up still playing Archive from time to time just to check what changes, but I don't think I'll be interacting with the community that much, especially since, you know, they defend pedophiles.